Okay friends, so in the previous lecture we have discussed about a summing amplifier as well as the difference amplifier. Summing amplifier is also known as the added circuit, difference amplifier is known as the subtractor circuit. Now in certain application we require the addition as well as the subtraction of a certain voltage, and for that here we have a kind of a circuit which is known as a added subtractor circuit, which is known as the added subtractor circuit. So here if you look at this circuit, we have four different voltages, V1, V2, V3 and V4 voltages are there. V1, V2 is given to a inverting terminal and V3, V4 voltage is given to a non-inverting terminal. It means here the V1, V2, that whatever the voltage is there applied to a inverting terminal, it is working as a summing amplifier. And V3, V4 is also given to a non-inverting terminal, so also you will get the summation of that voltage V3 and V4. Now both the summation voltage is given at a different terminal of the operational amplifier, so you will get a difference of this voltage. Now let us see what will be the expression for this output voltage for this circuit. So for the analysis of the circuit, here already mentioned in the previous lecture that whenever we have more than one input voltage to the operational amplifier, then to find out the output voltage we have to apply the superposition principle. Means according to the superposition principle, you have to consider any one of the source as active and the rest of the source will be connected to the ground. In that way, you have to find out the output voltage. So first of all, here in this case, first of all we will consider that let us say V1 voltage is active and V2, V3, these are connected to the ground. And then we find out what is the voltage VO1. Same way, then we consider the V2 voltage is active and the V1, V3, V4 is connected to ground. So here in this way we will find out a output voltage due to the V1, V2, V3 and V4, and finally we will take the summation of all these voltages. So let us consider that first of all that according to a superposition principle, let V1 is active and V2 equal to V3 equal to V4, and that is connected to the ground. So here we will find out the voltage due to the V1. Now when these are connected to the ground, and if we redraw the circuit, then you will find it is nothing but it is a inverting amplifier. So look at the circuit. Here we have this operational amplifier. This is my inverting terminal, non-inverting terminal, output voltage. Now in this case, the V3, V4 is connected to the ground. It means this resistance R and R, they are in parallel. So all the three resistance will be in the parallel like this. And it is connected to the ground. This is also a R, R and R. Then here if you look at this, V2 is connected to the ground. So here we have a V1 voltage is there, R is there, and my feedback resistance again it is a R, Rf is equal to R, and whatever the resistance is here, this resistance R is connected to the ground. Remember. So, after applying the superposition principle, this is the amplifier circuit. Now, here already you know, if we apply a concept of a virtual ground, then these three resistors are connected to the ground. It means, and the flow of the current in the operational amplifier is zero. Here also the flow of the current in the op amp is zero. We consider a ideal operational amplifier. So it means that when the current is zero, it means the potential at this point is zero. Here you can say the potential at VA is zero. So this indicates the potential at this point is also a zero. Means the VB is going to be a zero. This VB will be equal to 0. It means now you can see this point behave like a ground. This is also a ground. It means there is no flow of current, or you can consider it is a kind of a short circuit, and here you can remove this resistance. If you remove this resistance, then you will find that it is a kind of a inverting amplifier. Remember. So, when we consider the V1 is active and the rest of the source are connected to ground, then operational amplifier is behave like a inverting amplifier with the input voltage of V1. So, we can say here the V1 is active. So, now the op amp is a inverting amplifier. Correct? So, in that case, the output voltage we can write as VO1. It is equal to, for an inverting amplifier, it is minus RF by R1 into a V1. Here RF and R both are same. So this is minus R by R into V1. So equal to, we can say minus V1 voltage is present. Correct? So here I will write that the VO1 is nothing but it is minus V1. Now the same logic we applied for a V2. Here the V2 is connected, is active. So we can say this V1 is connected to ground, V3 is connected to ground, and the V3 is also connected to ground, and the V2 is active. So in this case, the same logic if you apply, then you will find that VO2 will be equal to minus V2. Here. That V2 is active and V3 is equal to V4 is equal to V1, and that is equal to 0. So again, if we see the circuit, then here all the three resistors are in parallel, because the V3, V4 and this resistance are are connected to ground. And if you look at this, then my V2 is active, and whatever the V1 is there, it is connected to ground. So, and if we see the feedback resistance, then Rf is equal to R. Now, if you look at this, again the same logic if we apply, that the potential at this point VA is equal to 0, means the potential at this point, the VB will be also equal to 0 according to the concept of a virtual ground. Correct? So here you can cancel out the resistance, then the circuit is again a kind of a inverting amplifier. So in this case it is a inverting amplifier. Correct? So for a inverting amplifier we can write the VO2 is equal to minus Rf by R, and my input voltage is V2. So here both are same, then this is minus R by R into V2, and this is equal to minus V2. Correct? So here we will write that my VO2 is equal to minus V2. So we have calculated the voltage due to the V1, then we have calculated the voltage due to the V2. Now we will consider the V3 voltage. Correct? So third one. Let us suppose V3 is active and V1 is equal to V2 is equal to V4, and it is connected to the ground. Means the V1 is also connected to the ground, V2 is also connected to the ground, and the V4 is also connected to the ground. Now if you look at the circuit, if we redraw the circuit, then the circuit is like this. Here if you see, V1 and V2 both are connected to the ground. So the resistance R and R, this resistance R and this resistance R, both are in parallel. Correct? Or you can say the effective resistance will be of this will be R by 2. Now look at this point. Here the V4 is connected to ground, and this resistance is also connected to the ground. So here we can have this kind of the situation. Correct? And this is my input voltage V3. So R is there, R is there, R is there. Then again you will find that these two resistance are in parallel, so the effective resistance will be a R by 2. Now here you can see that this is nothing but it is a non-inverting amplifier. So in this situation, op-amp will behave as a non-inverting amplifier. So here we can write Now the circuit behaves as a non-inverting amplifier. Correct? So in case of this non-inverting amplifier, output voltage is written as A1 plus RF by R into a input voltage. Now remember, what is the input voltage? That input voltage is not V3, but whatever the voltage is present at this point, that voltage VA. For a non-inverting amplifier, the potential at a non-inverting terminal, we consider for this. So here we have to write VA, 1 plus RF by R into VA. Now we have to find out what is the VA. This potential VA will be what? So here if you apply a potential divider rule, then you can find out the VA. Here we have the effective resistance R by 2. This resistance is R. So we can say that the VA is equal to my total input voltage, that is V3 into. Now you are taking the voltage across this parallel combination. So that parallel combination is R by 2 divided by total resistance, that is R plus R by 2. So here you can apply the potential divider rule and calculate the voltage VA. So this VA will be equal to, we can have a 2R plus R, so it is a 3R. Okay, we write V3 into R by 2, and this is 3R by 2, 3R by 2, and this here R by 2, this will be cancelled. So the potential VA will be equal to V3 by 3. V3 by 3. And if we calculate now output voltage, so this output voltage VO3 is equal to 1 plus RF. RF is nothing but it is R and the resistance R. So that resistance is R by 2. R by 2 into V3 by 3. So here if you calculate that R by 2 is that, so 2R and R will be cancelled. So this will be a 3 into V3 by 3, and that is equal to V3. This will be cancelled. Correct? So here we can write that the VO3 is equal to a V3. VO3 is equal to V3. And similar way, we can also find out what will be the voltage due to the V4. Here we can write, because the V3 and V4 both are given to a non-inverting terminal. So the same logic, same method if you apply, then we can calculate. Similarly, the output voltage due to V4 will be a VO4 is equal to V4. Correct? Means the VO4 is equal to V4. So now according to the superposition principle, output voltage will be what? It is a summation of all the voltages. So here we can write according to the superposition principle, the output voltage is equal to VO1 plus VO2 plus VO3 plus VO4, and that is equal to minus V1 minus V2 plus V3 plus V4, or we can write this as a V3 plus V4 minus V1 plus V2. Okay? So this is the expression for the adder subtractor circuit. So here you are getting here we have the summation of these two voltage, that is the V1 plus V2. Again we have the summation of these two voltage, that is the V3 plus V4, and then it is applied to a difference amplifier. So this output voltage will give you the output like a V3 plus V4 minus V2 plus V1. Okay. So in this way we can have addition and subtraction of a given certain voltage. Now we will have some numericals. So example number 1. Determine the output voltage for the following circuit. So here you can see that we have a kind of a summing amplifier, but it is a inverting summing amplifier or a non-inverting summing amplifier. And you can see that whatever the voltages are there, all the voltage is given to a inverting terminal. So it is a non-inverting. Okay. Okay, now look at this example number 1. And here you have to find out what is the output voltage of this circuit. You can see it is a kind of a summing amplifier. But you have to find out that it is a inverting summing amplifier or a non-inverting summing amplifier. And here if you see, whatever the input voltages are there, all the voltage is given to a inverting terminal. So this example is for a inverting summing amplifier. So for a inverting summing amplifier, what is the expression for the output voltage? It is given as VO is equal to minus RF by R1 into V1 plus RF by R2 into V2 plus RF by R3 into V3. This is the general expression for a inverting summing amplifier. Correct? Now here if you look at this, RF is 1 kilo ohm, RF is 1 kilo ohm, as well as R1, R2 and R3. R1, R2 and R3 and R3 is also a 1 kilo ohm. What is V1? V1 is given as a plus 2 volt. V2 is given as a plus 1 volt. And V3 is a plus 4 volt. Okay? So now we put all this value in this given formula. So the VO will be equal to minus 1K divided by 1K into 2 plus 1K divided by 1K into 1 plus 1K divided by 1K into 4. So you will get a minus 2 plus 1 plus 4, and that is minus 7 volt. So this is the output voltage of a given example. Now another example. Determine the output voltage for the following circuit. Now here if you look at this circuit, it is again a summing amplifier, but this one is a non-inverting summing amplifier. On a non-inverting terminal, the voltage, two different voltages are given. 1 volt is a here. Now V1 is a 1 volt and V2 is, this is a V2 is a 3 volt. And we have to find out what is the output voltage. Now in a non-inverting summing amplifier, first of all you have to find out what is the potential at A. What is the potential at A? Then we apply a expression for a non-inverting amplifier. So here we can write that it is a non-inverting summing amplifier and output voltage we can write as 1 plus Rf by R into a potential at point A. Remember, here we have to find out what is the potential at A. Now, this potential you can find out again by applying a superposition principle, because the two different voltages is a given. So, first of all we will find out what is the voltage due to the V1 and then what is the voltage due to the V2. So, to calculate VA, apply superposition principle. Correct? Let the V1 is active and V2 is equal to 0. Correct? So here if you look at the circuit, that the V1 is there and the V2 is connected to the ground. It means this resistance is connected to the ground, and here we can say R1 is 1 kilo ohm, this R2 is also a 1 kilo ohm, and we will find out what is the V and we will find out what is the V1A. Correct? Now, this again a kind of a simple potential divider circuit. So, the potential divider circuit, you can find out the V1A is equal to, that is the voltage across the R2, and here the voltage is V1, so into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Correct? And the V1 is given as a 1 volt. So this is a 1 volt multiplied by R2 is a 1 kilo ohm divided by 1 kilo ohm plus 1 kilo ohm. So it is a 1 by 2. Correct? So this voltage is 0.5 volt. That is due to the voltage V1. We have calculated the potential at point A. Now, let the V2 is active and V1 is equal to 0. Here. V2 is active and the V1 is 0. So here if you look at this circuit, then this circuit we have V2, this will be a R2 and this will be a R1. So we can write the V2A will be equal to a V2 into R1 divided by R1 plus R2, and my V2 voltage is 3 volt multiplied by 1K divided by 1K plus 1K, and this is 3 by 2, so it is a 1.5 volt. Correct? And therefore, according to superposition principle, potential at point A is equal to V1A plus V2A, that is a 0.5 plus 1.5 equal to a 2 volt. So we have calculated the VA as 2 volt. So now the output voltage, here we can write the output voltage of the circuit VO is equal to 1 plus RF by R into VA, that is equal to 1 plus, what is my RF? It is a 5K. 5K divided by 1K, and this is a 2 volt. So 5 plus 1, so 5K divided by 1K will be a 5 plus 1 into 2 will be a 6, and your answer will be a 12 volt. Correct? So this is equal to 1 plus 5 into 2 will be equal to 12 volt. Now here you should understand that 12 volt is present only if my VCC voltage is greater than 12 volt. Otherwise, your op-amp will be in the saturation. If your applied voltage, here if it is a minus 10 volt and this is a plus 10 volt, minus 10 volt and plus 10 volt, then the output voltage will not be at 12 volt. Your op-amp will go to the saturation, and you will get, in that case, you will get a 10 volt output. So, here when you solve the problem, at that time you should know, if the supply voltage is given, then you should confirm that your output voltage is not greater than supply voltage. If it is greater than supply voltage, then op-amp will be in the saturation and the output voltage will be equal to your supply voltage. Now, example number 3. Design the op-amp circuit which can give the output as VO is equal to 2V1 minus 3V2 plus 4V3 minus 5V4. So, here in this example, we have a summation of certain voltage and the difference of certain voltage is there. Means you require a summing amplifier as well as you require the difference amplifier. So now let us see how we can solve this. That VO, this expression I can write as minus 3V2 minus 5V4 plus 2V1 minus 3V2. Correct? This is minus plus and also here. Okay, minus 3V2 minus 5V4. Here I am making a mistake. 2V1 and plus 4V3. Correct? Now, this expression we can write as minus 3V2 plus 5V4 minus, I am taking again minus into 2V1 plus 4V3. Correct? So, here through this expression, you come to know, here we have to take the addition of these two voltage. Here also, I have to take the addition of these two voltage. Means for this, I can use a summing amplifier. But here the negative sign is there, so we have to use a inverting summing amplifier. Correct? Same way, here we have to use a inverting summing amplifier. Then the output of these two inverting summing amplifier will be given to a difference amplifier. It is given to a difference amplifier. So here this is equal to, we can write as a VO2 minus VO1. Remember, what is my VO2? So VO2 is equal to minus 3V2 plus 5V4. And what is VO1? Okay, we will write it here. VO1 will be equal to minus 2V1 plus 4V3. So, here we will design a inverting and summing amplifier for the VO2, then for the VO1. So, what will be that circuit? Remember, this is my V2 and V4. V2 input voltage is there, V4 input voltage is there, and we can have a R1 and R2 and the feedback resistance RF. So, in this case, you will get the VO2. Correct? Same way, we can have another summing amplifier. So first of all, you have to make this kind of a circuit, so you will get the idea what you have to calculate. For this another summing amplifier, V1 and V3 are the input voltage. Then here we write R3, R4, and let us say this is RF. Correct? Now you have to take the difference of this. So that we will take later on. But first of all, we will find out what will be the required value of R1, R2, R3 and R4. Correct? So, here we will consider, let us say RF is equal to a 100 kilo ohm. You can also take a 10 kilo ohm or 50 kilo ohm, whatever. Otherwise, it will be given in the example. Now, if you compare this expression, remember, if you compare this expression with this, that is RF by R1 into V2 plus RF by R2 into V4. Because this is for this summing amplifier. we can write the output voltage like this. Now, what we require? Rf by R1 must be equal to what? 3. Here, Rf by R1 is equal to 3. This indicates the R1 is equal to Rf by 3. And we have considered the Rf as a 100 kilo ohm, and this is 3. So 33.33 kilo ohm will be a R1. Now Rf by R2. Rf by R2 is what? It is a 5. So therefore, that R2 will be equal to Rf by 5. That is 100k divided by 5, so 20 kilo. So R1, my required value of R1 is 33.3 kilo and R2 is a 20 kilo. Right? So we have designed one of the summing amplifier. Now we will calculate for another summing amplifier. What is another summing amplifier? That is 2V1 plus 4V3. So here VO1 will be equal to minus Rf by, in this case it is a R3 into V1 plus Rf by R4 into V3. Okay? And we require, so Rf by R3 must be equal to what? 2. If you compare this, then the Rf by R3 is equal to 2, means the R3 will be equal to Rf by 2. Rf is 100 kilo ohm divided by 2, so this is a 50 kilo ohm. Similarly, now Rf by R4. Rf by R4, and that is equal to 4. So here R4 is equal to Rf by 4, 100k divided by 4, so it will be a 25 kilo ohm. So here if we connect R4 as a 25 kilo ohm and this one as a 50 kilo, Rf is 100 kilo ohm. Correct? That will give you the VO1. Correct? Now we have a difference amplifier. So what will be the difference amplifier? So if we take this R, and R, then this output voltage we can write as VO2 minus VO1. So it is written as VO2 minus VO1. Okay? VO2 means what? Voltage at a non-inverting terminal, and VO1 is voltage at a inverting terminal. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful that whatever the output voltage is present here, it is connected to a non-inverting terminal, and this output voltage is connected to a inverting terminal. So here the voltage is VO1, here the voltage is VO2, and then this output voltage is VO2 minus VO1. That's what we require. And what is my VO2? That is a 3V2 plus 5V4 minus 2V1 plus 4V3. So in this way, actually I have to draw this circuit VO2 at the lower side, and this will be connected to upper side. So directly you can have the connection with a difference amplifier. Okay? So in the exam when you draw, then you have to draw ups and down interchange this position of both the summing amplifier. So there will not be any kind of a confusion. So here this output voltage is nothing but you can say this is equal to a minus 3V2 plus 5V4 minus 2V1 plus 4V3. Okay, now look at this next example. Calculate the value of Rs in the following figure such that the VO becomes 0. Remember, here in this example, then what will be the value of Rs so that my output voltage will be equal to 0. So it is a kind of a summing amplifier, and it is also a difference amplifier. So first of all, and here you can see the three different sources are given. We have V1 is equal to 2 volt, V2 is equal to 2 volt, and V3 is equal to a 6 volt. So first of all, we will find out the expression for the output voltage. And three different voltages there. So again we applied the superposition principle. Correct? So what will be there? Here we will consider that first one. That consider the V1 and V2 active, and my V3 is equal to 0. Remember, here I am taking both the active because it will give you directly a inverting summing amplifier. So in that case, if you see, then here we have a inverting summing amplifier. That is, this is a V1, V2, can say R1, R2 and Rf. And what about this? It is connected to the ground, means these two resistors are connected to the ground, that is the Rs, and 22 kilo ohm is there. So here you will find that it is nothing but simply a inverting summing amplifier. So directly we can have the expression for the summing amplifier. So it is a inverting summing amplifier. So we can write that the VO1 is equal to minus Rf by R1 into V1 plus Rf by R2 into V2. So minus, what is RF? Is 10K by 10K, and the V1 voltage is given a 2 volt, plus again 10K divided by 10K, and it is a 2 volt. So you will get a 10K 10K cancel. So this is equal to a minus 4 volt. Minus 4 volt. So we have calculated the output voltage due to the V1 V2, and that is minus 4 volt. Now we have to calculate what is the voltage due to a V3, that is the 6 volt. Correct? So here I am writing that the VO1 is equal to minus 4 volt. Okay? Now, suppose V1 is V2 and that is 0, and V3 is active. Correct? So what will be the circuit? Here, this is connected to ground. Remember, V1 and V2 is connected to the ground. So this resistance is a 10K. This one is also a 10K. Feedback resistance is also a 10K minus, and we have this plus. Now at this point, what we have, that we have this resistance. Here we have a 6 volt, and another resistance is there, that is RS. So V3 is equal to a 6 volt. Now if you look at this circuit, this 10K, 10K both are in parallel. So this parallel combination will be a 5 kilo ohm. Correct? This both the resistance are in parallel. So then this will be a 5 kilo ohm. Feedback resistance, you can say that is R1, and the feedback resistance RF is 10 kilo ohm. Then now it is simply a non-inverting amplifier with the input voltage of VA. Remember. So we have to find out what is the potential VA. Correct? When V1, we consider V1, V2 0, and the V3 is active, so we can say it is a non-inverting amplifier. It is a non-inverting amplifier. Correct? So for this non-inverting amplifier, VO2 is equal to, we can write as 1 plus RF by R into VA, and that is equal to 1 plus, what is my RF? Is 10K. What is my feedback resistance? That is R1, and R1 is nothing but it is a 5 kilo ohm, 5K into VA. So we can write this is equal to a 3 into VA. Correct? Now what is VA? What is VA? So the potential at this means the potential across the RS here, and again you can apply the potential divider rule. Potential divider rule. So we can write the VA is equal to my total input voltage that is V3 into RS, because we are taking the voltage across this, and this resistance is a 22K, correct? So we write R plus RS, and V3 is 6 volt multiplied by RS divided by a 22K plus RS. 22K plus RS. That is my potential VA. So now the output voltage VO2 is equal to 3 into VA, that is 3 into VA is 6 into RS divided by 22K plus RS, and that is 18 into RS divided by 22K plus RS. Correct? So we have calculated VO2. So my VO2 is equal to 18 into RS divided by 22K plus RS. Therefore, the output voltage is summation of this VO1 plus VO2 equal to -4 plus 18 into RS divided by 22K plus RS. Now what we require? Here, remember that output voltage VO becomes 0. Means the output voltage is equal to 0. So here we will write a 0. And now you have to solve this expression, correct? So here and from this we can write that is 4 equal to 18 RS divided by 22K plus RS. And if you solve this, then the RS will comes out to be 6.285 kilo. This is your answer. So here if I will connect a 6.285 kilo ohm, then my output voltage will be a 0. Okay? So here you have to apply the concept of a summing amplifier, as means whenever we have this kind of a problem, then you should know what is the expression for a summing amplifier, you should know what is the expression for a difference amplifier, and to solve all this you have to apply a superposition principle. Okay? So in the next exam, next session, we will discuss another important amplifier circuit, and that is known as a instrumentation amplifier.